Welcome back, and you are tuned into the Nafeesa Dangor Show, where, of course, we're inspiring you, educating you, changing your perspective, and, of course, your mindset, especially through this difficult period. And today, we're definitely showcasing an individual that is definitely making a difference in many directions. Today's inspirational segment, we are profiling a young lady that's passionate about helping people and businesses. Nureshka Viranna started off as a teacher in 2013. She pursued her passion for technology after meeting an entrepreneur who was in the tech space. His words of inspiration to her was jump and the net will appear, which was sparked her co-founding an e-commerce company. Shoply, which has given Nureshka the opportunity to help people by taking their businesses online, and Lit Academy was founded to help learners improve their marks in school, of course, by using online tuition. She is one of the Forbes Africa Top 30 Under 30, and she's on that list. So a very good afternoon to you, Nureshka. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.
Good afternoon, Nafeesa. It's great to be here.
Yeah, I think the pleasure is ours. It's always lovely to see women doing inspirational things out there. And of course, in technology, because I think you're an inspiration to me because I'm not as technology savvy. I think I need to start learning from you.
Thank you.
Talk to us about your journey. It's so nice to hear that, you met somebody, they inspired you, this entrepreneur, and actually enticed you to find your true passion. That's what it is.
Sure. So I think you basically just explained my journey, but if I have to just say, well, like you said, I studied teaching, and I did enjoy it. However, I believe teaching is a true calling, and it wasn't really for me. I had this burning passion to basically start a business. And like you said, I had met an entrepreneur and who was also, I mean, you've been speaking about mindset before we started, and it's so important to have a positive mindset. So when we looked at that time at businesses, we saw that a few problems they were having was high rentals. The overheads were really high. They were limited to specific hours, and we were trying to see how we could help businesses. And that's when the word e-commerce was trending. So we used e-commerce to help business innovate and to change their business. And I can say that it's really helped a lot of the business. I would say it's been a positive impact. I mean, now with your business from an 8 to 5, you go to 24 hours, being online 24 hours a day. When you look at overheads, you reduce your rent or the amount that you'd have to pay to have a large staff or like a large team to run your business. So yeah, it's been a very exciting journey getting that started. Of course, you have your challenges that come in business, but we take it in our stride, and it's all about finding solutions when these challenges come about and having to overcome them. You've been talking about finding ways in which we can change things, and just to give you a classic example is during COVID, we actually worked and created a vertical called medical media. It was actually upon the request of doctors. They were unable to treat patients due to COVID because of government regulations, obviously their safety. And then there was also the fact of, a feasibility standpoint. And we managed to create a solution where they were able to consult virtually. People could pay by medical aid, they could pay with cash. And so doctors are now able to consult with them in the comfort of their homes. After that,
I think that's a phenomenal idea because and then I think what happens is, like you say, I think also with the fear of the COVID going on, I think people are afraid to actually physically go to the doctor because they they have that fear that they could possibly be infected instead of, just having the normal flu. So I love the idea of virtual. I think this virtual is really going very well, because what it does is it actually helps people without them having to move out of their safety space.
Yes. No, exactly. And, after medical media, we were actually inundated with calls from lawyers wanting a similar solution. So we worked with authority law and a legal expert, Aslam Mullah, in creating a similar solution for lawyers, where they are now able to consult online and help people that need some legal advice. So it's been a very exciting time. I feel that our challenges actually become solutions. So we're in a very exciting space, especially in tech. It's something new every day.
Yeah, definitely. And it's nice to see that you're creating that, because we also had a segment in Ramadan called Legal Perspective, where we were trying to,
Okay.
help people actually during this lockdown, besides creating all the other holistic things like mindset and that, to be able to make them understand that there is help out there, and that there
Yeah.
are solutions, like you're saying, as opposed to defining just the problem. You have to define and, of course, find a solution as such. And it's nice to see that you're reaching out there from your platform in order, I mean, for lawyers, it's so much easier to, of course, consult online than it is. And with the lockdown, of course, nobody could go anywhere. So it's
Yeah.
great to see them unpacking that. And I think it also alleviates a lot of the misconceptions that have been going on about how to tap into those funds and, move forward as such.
Yes. No, exactly. You basically hit the nail on the head. This virtual consults, I know me as, I guess because I'm in tech, but I'm very reluctant to go out. Well, like you said, when I look at medical media, to go into a doctor's rooms. And for them, at one stage, the doctors were concerned because their lives are also at risk going into their surgeries. So virtual is really the future, and it's all about innovating your business right now. And I think COVID has helped speed up that process of taking businesses online.
Yeah, so I think that has brought out the positive in everything as opposed to the negative. I mean, well, we're looking at COVID 19, and trust me, it's a very difficult situation, I think, for everybody, as we were saying earlier. But it's you taking the opportunity to actually find solutions for people during this space. And this is what we were saying. We were speaking to somebody else the other day, and what they were saying is the type of career that you do, you've got to now find your way around it to see which way you can get innovative, and of course try and earn something another way around as opposed to what you were doing. Because as we know, with the lockdown, there's still a lot of people that are, of course, not earning any incomes at the moment.
Yeah, we like to use the word pivot because you're on a track, you have products, you have services, and you are set in your ways to an extent. But in order to make things happen, you have to pivot. And I think we had to do that as well. We realized that a lot of people were struggling, and we had to come up with solutions that were affordable. And I think when we looked at things, we have affordable solutions. People can now take their businesses online at really affordable rates. You can sell your services, your online, your products online. So it's been amazing. Taking groceries online, doing online malls, e-learning platforms, because now you must also realize learning is going online.
Yeah, and
So
that
we
that was going to be my next question. Is I see you have the LIT Academy, the Lit Academy, and I
yeah.
think that's phenomenal, because what has happened during this period, I think it's very difficult. For parents as such to get involved with tutoring. A lot of the parents have been complaining about the difficulties that, they and challenges they coming across, because it's not easy for them to, of course, teach their children the way the teachers can do it. So the online tuition is an amazing concept. So let's talk a little bit about that.
Sure. So, Lit Academy is also, we still busy in development. It's ever evolving. As you know, education is as well. like you've seen how we never really went online. So there's a lot of content, and we're working with a lot of educators and specialists to come up with programs that assist, especially at this time. Um, I've been keeping an eye out and seeing that different schools are using different platforms like Google Classroom, they're using Zoom, they're WhatsApping. So yes, we do have this platform that we are still working with constantly, and it's all about getting the right content and having students practice.
Yeah, most definitely. I think the biggest issue that parents are having right now is to get their learners involved in doing things, because they're now not used to the norm. They at home, and I think things have eased off. There's a bit too much of that casualty going on because parents were complaining to me and saying my kids are too casual. They don't want to get involved with the online learning. When the teacher sends something, they don't want to do it. But of course, it is a very difficult time. And as I was saying, it's about just helping them to edge it on and create that routine. And I think your platform is great because it allows people to actually you know find that opportunities through tutors to be able to reach out as such.
Yes, yeah, yeah. No, it all came from being a teacher and seeing it started with helping someone with their Afrikaans actually. And we realized there's an opportunity to help kids, and I think COVID happened. So yeah, it's a very interesting time. But I think, like you said, it's all about finding solutions to problems, being innovative, and keeping a good mindset, a positive mindset, because that's how we'll get through this. Yes, we have a pandemic, but I believe that we can make the most out of it and turn it to be a positive thing, or implement strategies where we can overcome this.
Yes, and that's where I was heading to, especially with the small businesses, because at this point in time, what's happening is you're finding a lot of the smaller businesses, SMMEs, are busy, they're struggling to get out there. They, of course, have asked, and offered those funds, but it's not the same. So it's about them, of course, trying to find an alternate solution. And it's a great way to see that you are there to actually help these small businesses go online. So maybe, like you were saying, that is something that they need to look at, of course, depending on the type of products that they do.
Yes. Well, with e-commerce, you really can take all businesses and services online. I mean, if you think about beauty and makeup, they also sell products online. So they may not be able to operate right now, but if you put your products online, you can sell and get an income coming in. The supermarkets, they needed to find a convenient way. So they have pickup, and you tap and go and you pick up and collect. Not everyone's willing to go into a store. So that also worked with a few spaza shops. And yes, like you're saying, the smaller businesses, rent's been tough, and it hasn't been easy to get those funds. And a lot of people might not have a physical space, but they have a virtual space, and that's online. So they can take their businesses online, they can sell their products online, and we have affordable solutions for them, to help them to take them there.
Yeah, and especially during this lockdown, I mean, as we know, all the beauticians, the hairdressers, they're all closed. They're still not open yet. They're trying to find their common ground as such. How difficult is it for these people? Or maybe what we can do is, I seen one of the hairdressers, and she's a famous one, going out there doing tutorials, and of course, trying to teach you how to look after your hair till you can go back to her. So I think that's a nice thing. She could probably use it through your platform to entice people to get, in order to get out there. So I think there are, like you're saying, options. It's for us to actually get in touch with you, of course.
Yeah, so how I would recommend someone does something, like you said, it's a tutorial. And when you think tutorial, you think e-learning. So what a lot of people that would offer services, they would create sort of their own e-learning platform. So they'd create their own website. So for example, this hairdresser, we would create an e-learning platform for her, or website, where she'll be able to different courses or different tutorials. So it could be how to do a comb over, or how to trim, or how to do a touch up. And she'd add it as a different sort of course, or a different sort of, I think, tutorial. And then people could go on and watch. If that was a way of income, they could pay a small fee, maybe like a 10 or 20 rand, just to see how you can do a comb over, what equipment or products you need. And by watching those things, and watching tutorials, she'll be able to get a bit of income, and she'll be able to help people. So it's not being completely shut down if you are online. So there are ways in which you can take your business online. It's all about innovation. So it's right. It's about someone posting a video, but you can turn that video into an e-learning platform. You can monetize it.
And that's where Shoply comes in, because it actually gives you that space to be able to do that, especially during this period, because a lot of people are, at the moment, they've stagnated, and there's no business whatsoever. So I think it's a nice way to actually entice people to carry on going. And as you say, we're there to give them the hope, and Shoply is there.
Yes, definitely. We love helping people, so our doors are always wide open.
That's where I was leading to next, because it says that you're passionate about championing women in the workplace. And of course, you need to break the stigma of women in technology. So let's talk about that, because, I'll be honest with you, I'm not technology savvy. My 25-year-old son always scolds me. He's like, Mommy, it's about time you in the industry, you need to get with the program. So it's nice to see there's another lady out there that could possibly also help me get out there.
No, sure. I think a lot of people are maybe afraid of tech, but I think there's a lot of women that actually are capable. They have the ability, they have skills in which they are leaders in tech. So when I say that, and when I said a bit about the stigma, when we would go out there, we weren't taken as ladies as seriously as a man would be. Taking the solution of e-commerce. And I noticed that as time went on, I think, we've had campaigns about equality and stuff. It has since changed. But something that helped was getting a few awards, and those awards being vetted and being recognized, people take you more seriously. But I think as women, if you have a business and if it's in tech, it's all about being confident. It's about being assertive. If you believe in your solution, then you have to do whatever it takes to make it happen. And that would happen by you showing people how much you believe in it, and people buy into you. So that's important to also note.
That is so true. You are your own brand. You create your own brand. How difficult has it been for you?
It's been interesting. It has its challenges where you meet new people. I love meeting new people. So I love my job. I love getting involved in creating the online stores, getting involved in the actual setup. Interacting with the clients and things like that. So it's very exciting, and I like that part of it. There are a few challenges, like I said, that come along the way that you just have to take into your stride. And that's when we sit down, we discuss, we pivot, we brainstorm, and we overcome these challenges. So yeah, it's been an awesome journey. I've loved every minute of it.
What sort of perseverance did it take? Because a lot of the times you find people, I think they're almost there reaching their goal, and eventually they just give up. What would you like to tell them?
Don't give up. And literally, I love this saying, do whatever it takes. And my mentor says that a lot. And he would always say, do whatever it takes. And I think it's just about pushing. And if you keep working and you just don't stop, you'll eventually get there. But it's how badly I feel you also want it. If you want it bad enough, you'll work hard enough. If you feel that, like you said, nothing's working, then maybe you're doing something wrong. Maybe you need to change something. Maybe you have the right concept, but the way in which you're going about it is wrong. So that's important. Maybe take a step back and look at what are you doing? Is there something you can do differently that might actually make it work? So that's also important. It's nice to also take a step back and look at what you're doing. And if you see that maybe you're continuously doing the wrong things, there may be other options. So the concept and the thought and the idea behind it, it might be excellent, but the way in which you pursue it and the way in which you go forth in making it happen is important too.
Nureshka, what does it mean for you to be able, to get up every morning knowing that you serve a purpose where you can go out there and you can help people move forward in many directions, including young and old? What does that actually mean for you every day that you get up? What is it? How do you feel about it?
So when I wake up, I feel great because I love my job. So I getting up in the morning, it's you hear a lot of people say if you love what you do, it's like you never work a day in your life, and it does feel like that because I enjoy what I do. You never really realize how much of an impact you actually play in people's businesses. Like you say, what does it mean to you? And I always say it's not the awards or it's not fancy titles, but really the greatest reward is when your client makes a sale. Nothing makes me happier to get a call from a client or get an email from a client. Even sometimes the email saying, did someone really buy this, or did someone really pay? And you say, yes, that's a sales email, that's a confirmation of order. So I think it really does mean something. It making a difference and having to have innovated and made a positive impact. It's always a good feeling. It's something
And I
once you
suppose
know.
it's also the fulfillment
Yes.
knowing that you've helped somebody actually get out there and you've uplifted them in some way and you're helping them move forward. And I think that fulfillment is what actually gets you going for the day.
Yeah. So I think that's what I think is the whole part of it, and it's finding those new solutions to help the people that are having problems. So it's seeing the change in their business, seeing the innovation, seeing the good impact. That's what means the most to me.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you there. What message do you have for our listeners today?
To remain positive. I know COVID threw a curveball for everyone, but you can overcome any challenges if you take it into your stride, take a step back, look at the options, look at the solutions out there, and just don't give up. I believe if you work hard and if you do whatever it takes, you can make it work. There are a lot of opportunities. Keep your head up high, keep a positive attitude, and you'll make it work. We believe in you. And if you always need help from an online perspective, you need advice, you're always welcome to contact us, and we'll be more than willing to help you.
Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. I think it was an absolute pleasure having somebody as inspirational like you on our segment. You definitely got us going in a very different direction as far as e-commerce and technology is concerned. So thank you so much. We only wish that you grow from strength to strength, and
Thank you.
of course, staying safe during this very difficult period.
And you as well. Thank you. I
Thank you so
enjoyed
much
it.
on behalf of the Salam Media team. We really appreciate your time.
Awesome. Take care.
You too. Bye bye.
Bye.
And that is Nureshka Viranna, definitely enticing us to, of course, get involved with technology and showing there is hope, especially during this difficult time, to take your business online and, of course, change the perspective and moving forward in a different direction. So stay with us. We're going to be back with you in a short while with, of course, Nakia Mayat.